Hello guys, NautoAis here, and I want to give my thoughts on Konami. Yes, they did the Konami Press Start, which is their version of a Nintendo Direct. So there were some games there, mostly games already been announced, they're just giving more info. I mean, at least you get more of a backstory about the certain games that you're interested. But they did announce at least one new game that people were like, oh, that's awesome that they're gonna do this. So I'm not really gonna give my thoughts on the whole presentation itself, because again, it's already been talked about, just new info such as Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater. They introduced the multiplayer mode. There's called the Fox Hunt, which is sort of their extended version of the Metal Gear Online from the PS3 with Metal Gear Solid 4. Again, there's a single player mode, multiplayer mode. And again, why are they doing a remake of Metal Gear Solid 3? Well, rumor has it that it's probably to hype the fans and maybe the casual for a new Metal Gear, because it was announced that Konami is working for a new Metal Gear. Rumor, I don't know, true or not. I know it was heard. I think people said that David Hayter kind of said that they are working on a new Metal Gear Solid game. Cool, it is what it is. Of course, during also the presentation, they also announced some game that they're going to be publishing. Again, it's interesting, and I'll explain that later. But for me personally, it's not really my cup of tea. But hey, at least it's there. And then, of course, they also kind of reiterate about Suikoden HD Remastered. Yes, is it because of Yuden Chronicles? Who knows? Played it, fun, as I remembered, fancy graphic, it is what it is. There is sort of a quality of life, but to some extent, you're still playing Suikoden in 4K. But the focus on that one is Suikoden Starleap, which is a free-to-play game that was announced on mobile game, but now they're saying it's also going to be on Steam, and they also show what the story is. And yes, the story is it's supposed to be a year before the first game. So one of the 108 destinies is supposed to be Odessa, which is an NPC for Suikoden 1. Again, maybe if there's a lot of interaction with this free-to-play game, maybe they'll do a new Suikoden. Who knows? Why is it free-to-play game? I don't know. It's kind of weird, but you just have to wait and see there. And then the biggest one here is Silent Hill. So they did talk about more Silent Hill F. Again, the developer, the people behind it, whatever, I'm not a fan of it. But the biggest one here, that the reason why they kind of talk about Silent Hill is they will be doing a Silent Hill remake. So the very first game for the PlayStation, they are doing a remake. A lot of people are happy about that. They're excited. Kudos to Konami. Of course, other info, Gradius, Collection, Origin, it's going to come out this August. They've been showing some games already for that game. And then Eden Zeros, of course, already have a demo, and it transferred to the main game, which should be an industry standard in my opinion. Have a demo, but let's see what it is. And then once you're done, you transfer that to the main game rather than starting over, because not everyone likes that because they don't have the time. So they're willing to play it if they can progress the game from the demo from the real game. Just saying there. So with that said, my thoughts about Konami itself. So you gotta give them props, because they're actually doing games, or to some extent publishing games from other developer. So at least they're building up their console gaming repertoire, because if you didn't know in the past, I think it was 2014 to some extent, could be before, could be after, the people behind Konami for a while believed that mobile game was the future, that they're gonna make any money, and that's why for a while they were very focused on mobile game. Heck, even Alpha Omega Sin at a time when he gave his opinion about it was not happy, even putting a hashtag #FKonami for a while. And I knew people that were really pissed off at Konami that they're not bothering doing any games. Either they can't, they don't know how, they don't have the money. I don't know. 2014 was to some extent a hectic year, because even Capcom at the time also were having a hard time making games. They couldn't even make games because they didn't have a lot of money in their company, to a point that they did the same thing, that they needed outsource. That's why Dead Rising 3 was a Xbox exclusive, because Microsoft was funding the game. Street Fighter 5, Sony was funding the game, etc, etc, etc. So Konami in 2025, I gotta say, they're good. They're actually doing games, or at least they're willing to publish other people's game if they believe in the game. It is what it is there. So there you go. Nothing else to say, nothing really much for me, any info. Again, game's already been announced, they're just giving more info. All the new game they basically revealed was Silent Hill Remake, but for the Silent Hill fans, they like that. So with that, I'll see you guys later.